What's up, friends? Happy Friday. Rock Chalk Sports. Getting your Friday going here on kansasnation.com. Got an abbreviated show today. Big news, though. KU Volleyball and KU Basketball is what we're covering today. KU Volleyball advancing to the second round of the NCAA Tournament. They're going to take on the U at 6 o'clock tonight at Horsch Family Volleyball Arena. We'll tell you about the victory yesterday over High Point. Plus, we're going to hear from Matt Ulmer and some KU student-athletes. And then we got some, well... We got some angst toward our rivals from out east after the past couple matchups. Yes, definitely angst. Definitely angsty. That's putting it lightly. I think there's hatred involved without question. But KU going to battle with the Tigers in the border war. That's Sunday at noon. Kind of strange having a Sunday game, especially in the middle of football season.
It's weird.
Not amazing. Don't love it. At least the Chiefs don't play until Sunday night.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Chiefs, Texans.
And, maybe because KU and Mizzou fans can agree usually on one thing, is that they're all Chiefs fans. So they can just like carpool over. Right?
There is that. Yeah, that works out well. It'll be an exciting day.
I don't know how many of them want to be in the same car as one another.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's KU, Mizzou, noon on Sunday, and then it's the Chiefs and Texans. Important game with wild card implications. Sunday Night Football. One word to describe Sunday's action in Kansas City.
Electric.
I love it. Absolutely. Great call. KU Volleyball ranked number 16 in the country. They won their first round match, as I said last night, against High Point. Great atmosphere at Horsch Family Volleyball Arena, as there always is. Sweeping the Panthers out of Lawrence. Matt Ulmer saying anytime you win a postseason match, it's a big deal. No doubt, High Point, technically the 13 seed. Still nice winning those 4/13s.
Yeah.
Basketball, those can be a little bit tricky.
True.
But Jovana Zelenovic continues to be efficient. First team All Big 12 performer. She had 8 kills on 40% hitting percentage. Also had 3 aces. Reese Patak, another high-quality player who received honors in the postseason. She had 7 kills and a pair of blocks. And then Aisha Iona as well. She showed up big with 7 kills. Really good atmosphere and a lot of different contributors. Katie Dalton leading the way with 20 assists.
Yeah, Aisha Iona came up huge in this game, right? I mean, she was a part of the rotation. Obviously, when you think about this KU volleyball team, you think about Katie Dalton being the primary setter. You think about Reese Patak and Jovana Zelenovic as being the people to get those kills. But Aisha Iona came up huge. And I mean, she was the player of the game by far. And, High Point, they gave Kansas a little bit of a run for their money in that second set, right? They got up, I think, early in the second set. Kansas continued to battle, but then Kansas all of a sudden, went on a run and they beat them 25-15 in the second set. So it was really good to see. Obviously, being in the home environment really helps, having a bunch of Kansas fans there. And like you said, the atmosphere was incredible. All around, excellent team play by Kansas. Quick turnaround because they're going to be playing Miami today. They're better than High Point, but High Point still looked really good, right? They have a lot of really good players on that squad. They were able to get, a ton of stuff off the hands, off the blocks of Kansas. So Kansas really has to, figure that out on the defensive side. Try to get those blocks down instead of over to the side. That could really be an issue for Kansas, but Kansas did an excellent job. Ryan White, I thought, played really well, getting some digs, right? You saw Katie Dalton in there, really, setting everybody up for success. And I thought it was really fun to see. Kansas really worked on that depth work, right? Where not everything was a kill. Some things were light touches and kind of getting them on their heels, and they didn't really know what to do. So it was a lot of fun to watch that game. Again, you got a quick turnaround, though. You got Miami coming in. Miami's a very, very good program with some tall girls, some, an excellent program run over there by Miami. If Kansas does, I'm going to say once because I don't want this run to end. Once Kansas defeats Miami, then they have a very tough battle in Nebraska, who's right now seemingly. Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and say that, but they're undefeated. One of, if not the best team in the nation right now. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Kansas. Obviously, that's going to be a big time matchup. But you got to get past Miami first, and I thought Kansas looked good. They're going to use this momentum to kind of push them forward.
White led the way with 14 digs, a couple service aces as well. well for the KU senior. And it was Iona who finished off the third set. KU was down in that third set 13-9, 6 consecutive points, made it 15-13. And then Iona got the Jayhawks their 25th point. Aisha and Katie Dalton were at the podium postgame, along with head coach Matt Ulmer. KU Volleyball onto the round of 32. Let's hear that now.
Matt, your first NCAA tournament match as a coach here, just how did it live up to just your expectations, crowd-wise and everything?
Horse never disappoints, you know. It's always different NCAA because it's you have to share. You know, you got to play well with others, you know. And I thought High Point bringing the band was a cool touch for them. I thought that gave them some confidence and made it feel weird in our gym to have that many people cheering against us with loud instruments. But I thought we handled it well. And I liked a couple of our aces when they looked at the band, too. I thought that was pretty good, you know. But just brought out maybe a little bit more of our fight, which was good. But I'm just really happy for these guys, you know. I think anytime you can win a postseason match, it's a big deal. And when you can do it at home, it's even sweeter. So it just gives us a chance to try to do something that's pretty tough to do, you know, and win the next one. So Brian is excellent at High Point. I think he does such a good job coaching his team. This is the second year in a row where we've played them in the postseason. I just really applaud him and am impressed by everything that he does. And I thought they gave us a great fight. I thought they served tough, played great defense, and you know, so I'm happy with our team for putting up a good fight and getting a good win.
Not a lot of offense in the first set. How do you think the team reacts to sets like that where it's pretty ugly?
Yeah, ask Dalton. I have no idea.
I would just say, like, after the set, if our offense isn't very good, we just kind of reset, take a deep breath, and kind of just not think about that first set and say, you know what, we just got to compete and practice the shots we do in practice and feel it out, try to get people going, and just reset after every point.
Yeah, I also feel like with us, normally we have some nerves to start the match. Mm-hmm. And for most of our team, that's their first NCAA tournament match that they've, you know, played meaningful minutes in. So you got to get through some of that, and luckily we were able to do that with a win and then kind of get our bearings, and then we were able to get it going. But, yeah, echo what she said.
This is for Aisha.
Yeah.
Two-part question. First part, how would you summarize the play at the net between you and Giovanna?
I think me and Giovanna put up a really big block. I think that it's really fun to play with her because I can trust her a lot because I know she's going to do her job and she makes my job easier. I think that she gives me confidence when I'm playing because I know that she can do her job.
And the second part is that run of points in the second set when she was serving. How would you describe that particular stretch?
I think that she really shifts the momentum when she starts doing that. Every time she gets an ace, I know that we go crazy on the bench and the crowd will go crazy for her, and I think that really brings our momentum back up when she can do that.
To go off the earlier question, Coach, what did you think of the job you guys did defensively and behind the service line in the first set?
Yeah, I was really impressed with our defense. Again, they do some different things. They run the high ball in the middle, which, you know, we haven't seen all year, that, you know, from the middle. And then they kept switching their lineup around. And their setter poses a lot of issues because you don't see a 6'5" setter up at the net very often that can throw the ball straight down and some of those things. So I thought we adjusted well. I thought we made good touches. Some of our plays, we were just scrappy. You know, we're just fighting and keeping the ball off the ground and just extending the rallies. And that's what you got to have right now, right? Again, we talked about elite competitiveness, and that's what we were doing. And again, something I said to the group is this time of year, it's not going to be pretty. Right, like you're not just going to have clean offense all the time, and it's just going to feel good all the time. Like it's going to be stressful. So how do you handle that stress? And I thought for us, we responded well after the first set, and we just kept grinding away and finding ways to get points. So
then middle of the second set, you went to the 6-2. What did you see there?
Yeah, again, you don't know. I mean, Chris and Ellie have been playing great in practice, so I wanted to give them some NCAA experience and some time. Again, if it's something where we need to have, you know, not that your block isn't massive, you know, but just maybe a little bit bigger block if we want to do something like that. It's good that they've been in there and had some points doing that. And I thought they handled it well. I thought it was really quality points for them and good experience to be gained. So I love how deep we are and how many people can step in and just play meaningful minutes and do, you know, positive things for our team's success. And I think both of them did a good job in what we asked them to do.
To the athletes, did you sense any nerves tonight? Like Coach said, you have to get over that in the first match. Or did you guys just take care of business 3-0?
I would definitely say it's a lot of nerves. I mean, it's the NCAA tournament, and it's basically 0-0 for everyone. So you're definitely a little nervous at the beginning, and you want to do really well. But I think we stayed super steady, especially after that first set. We got into a rhythm.
Yeah, I would say that we know that everybody's going to bring their best shot. So that means that everybody's going to come in fighting, and we know that we have to bring the fight too, and that's kind of what brings the nerves.
This one's for the athletes. How did it feel to just get a tournament game here in Horsh?
I think it's great. I always love winning in Horsh. The environment's great and the crowd is great, and I think it helps us feel a little bit more comfortable that we get to play at home, and that really helps us.
Yeah, our fans are awesome, super loud, and I think we have great home court advantage, so it's really fun.
Matt, what does the next, I guess, maybe 21 hours and some change, whatever the math is on that, look like for you all?
Well, I hope they get to bed as soon as possible. So they'll eat, maybe a shower.
Maybe a
Shower's
shower.
probably good, and then hopefully they can quickly get to bed. And we have serve and pass, I think, at 11, so they get a chance to maybe sleep in. No classes before that, so that's a positive, for the group, so they can focus on that. Some of them might have class after that. Student athlete.
It's stop day.
Oh, it is stop
It's
day.
stop
High
day.
five.
Stop day.
I forgot. That's right. Good.
That's cool.
What a great stop day to have. We're here. So no school tomorrow, so then they get to just focus in on the match. But we did, we talked about earlier, we did some film on the second round potential opponents earlier in the week, so it shouldn't be all new information, and they were ready to. They watched the first match, so they should be pretty familiar with what's going on, so we can refresh it tomorrow after a serve and pass, and then it's go time. This group, I hope, is really hungry for tomorrow, right? That's the 2 years in a row where we haven't gotten through this point, and I would just really love it for them to be able to play their best match. And again, wins or losses, we can't control that, but we can control our effort and what we're going to do in our preparedness. And so I think they're going to be focused and ready, and hopefully we give it our best shot.
Coach, you get Miami tomorrow, led by Flor Marie Heredia Colon. What's it going to take to slow down a hitter of that magnitude?
She's pretty good. So, no, I mean, you're trying to just make it as hard on her as possible, right? Like, you're not going to stop her. She's going to get her points. Against the best teams in the country, she's scored like she scored earlier today. So I thought Tulsa did a really nice job of serving tough. I thought they, dug a lot of balls and, again, made her take some tough swings. And the defense we play, like, it's going to have to be our best tomorrow. You got to be able to control some of the things that she's doing. But also, you can't let everybody else score. So as much as you're going to want to try to focus on her, we have to do a good job on everybody else and just make her have to do as much as possible. And then we have to play really good team offense on our side. I think for us, our defense, serve and pass has been pretty good. We got to score. We need attackers that are going in there to get things done and so that we can continue to spread the score for our favor. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really fun matchup, and I love it for the fans. Again, I think it should be super entertaining. I hope both teams bring it, and you're going to get one of those really great classic NCAA matches.
Matt, this is your first year here, but you're well aware of what has happened in the second round the last 2 years. Was it the returning players who kind of filled you in on that, or did you do your homework on that? How did that come about with your awareness of all that?
I think I watched both live the last 2 years. So at Oregon, we would play Thursday, Friday, and I'm pretty sure those matches were Friday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday. So I was able to. I was off on Saturday and getting ready for the Sweet 16 while watching them play. And those were great matches. I mean, really, against Penn State and Florida, they were excellent teams, and Miami's another excellent team. And when you get to this time of year, you're going to be playing someone that's really good and feeling good, and you're going to have to just outplay them. You're going to have to be better, out-execute them. So, I'm aware, and then I've heard it from them. One of the team, we had some team goals this year, which when I first got the job, it was like that first conversation as a team, I think, right? Yeah. Where I said, okay, what are our goals? I had them all meet before they talked to me, and I said, what are we doing? How can I push you guys? What are we going towards? It's tough if I want them to go to the Sweet 16, they're not really interested in it, right? And one of the things that they said is they wanted to get past that second round. That was a big thing for them, is to be able to get to that third round. So I'm proud of them to be able to fight as hard as we did throughout the season. We were never perfect, but we were always trying to become our best. And it gave us a position to be able to host, which we really like playing in Horsh. So that's an advantage for sure that they've earned. And now they're going to play a really tough team again for the third year in a row in the second round at Horsh. So I hope that we've learned lessons that we can learn. Again, not a bunch of our players have played in that match necessarily, but they've been there and they see what it's going to take, the intensity it's going to take, and the commitment it's going to take as a team. So I've never lost at home personally in playoffs, so I don't intend that. So something's going to give, and I think what they've done has to give, and we need to continue to put our best foot forward.
Coach, you've kind of talked about
pressure.
this. You've kind of talked about this just now, but you or players, what are you most proud of with this team this season and, after opening the tournament the way you guys did?
I think I think that our growth was really impressive this season. I think it came with a lot of ups and downs, but I thought that we've really found our groove and how to fight and to get tough. And I think that's a lot of what Coach Ulmer's been trying to teach us, is about how to get tough in those moments. And even though, like we talked earlier about how we have nerves sometimes, it's really about how we get through those nerves and how we handle it, since they don't tend to go away. But I think that we'll continue to fight through those things, and that we're going to keep being tough, and that's pretty exciting to me.
LeBon had a stretch at the end of the second set where she had a kill and then a diving dig a few points later. What did you make of that?
Selena's a really good volleyball player. She's battled injuries a bunch this year for us, so she's feeling pretty good right now. So we have 3 lefts, that have done really nice things for us, in Swanson and LeBon and Grace Nelson. So I think it's just a matter of who's there that day, who's the best matchup, what they bring. But trying to find ways to get Selena and Grace on the court as much as possible. They just bring a lot of ball control and effort on defense. They're crafty with their attack. But you want Ryan Swanson out there to be able to bang balls over the block and side us out like she does. So it was nice to be able to see everybody go to work tonight and get everybody's feet wet. And again, we're gonna need everybody tomorrow to come out on top.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Our point will be in next.
Volleyball at the podium after the victory yesterday over High Point, and now really quick turnaround as they get the U tonight at 6 o'clock, Horsch Family Volleyball Arena. 4-seed Kansas, 5-seed Miami. Make sure you're locked in, kansasnation.com, and of course follow on your socials to keep up with that if you're not able to get out to Horsch or to tune in ESPN Plus. And as Dan alluded to, if KU wins, it's Nebraska in all likelihood, 30-0. Not exactly a gift that Santa brought, putting Kansas in Nebraska's region, but that's kind of where they're at right now. That 4 spot's always tricky, but if you can get to next weekend, then that's a big win, particularly in Matt Ulmer's first year. Hey, want to shout out really quick, Game Day Men's Health, Lawrence, Mitch Bales, and everybody over there. They do great work, a plush man cave-like setting. It's a full-fledged medical clinic with licensed practitioners. Get over there today, and if you call 785-222-4272 and mention Rock Chalk Sports sending you can get 15% off your first month for any of their programs. Now is an opportunity to revitalize your well-being. If you're struggling with things like low T, erectile dysfunction, low energy, not having a sex drive that you want, go to Game Day Men's Health Lawrence in West Lawrence. Tell them the guys at Rock Chalk Sports sent you, and they'll hook you up. Really, really comfortable atmosphere. Easy to work with, easy to talk to people. And I can't say enough about the great work that they do and really appreciate their partnership. So shout out to Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. All right, let's talk the border war, Dan. KU and Mizzou going down Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
Crimson and Blue Show coverage will start at 10:30 on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Make sure you're tuned into that. And as we talked about, the Chiefs don't play until Sunday night. So clear up. You don't need to watch, Panthers, Saints, or whoever's doing battle on the gridiron.
Right.
This is usually where we say Jags, Titans.
Jags, Titans.
That's
more of like that's
Thursday,
like a Thursday night feel.
Thursday night football. But anyway, you're not going to want to miss it. Obviously, KU, we're hoping to have Darren Peterson back. We don't know. Going to hear from Bill Self a little bit later today. We're pre-recording the show right now and haven't heard from Coach at this point. Hopefully he gives an update. I'm sure it'll be the first question that he's asked.
I can only imagine.
DP, but
It
everybody
always
wants
is.
him back. Coach said at the end of the game, post-game press conference, UConn game, said 90-95% is about what DP's at. I get it. You want him to be 100% before he's back, especially the fact that Kevin McCullough, like Henry Greenstein alluded to a couple years ago, it wasn't a hamstring, but kind of a similar deal where you put him out there, all of a sudden it could be a setback. You can't afford that to happen for
Right.
DP when the most important games are down the line. But that's the first thing for KU, hopefully getting him back. Either way, you got to pick up a victory with this tough stretch, Mizzou and then NC State. KU sitting at 6-3 right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line between being tough and also being dangerous, right? And we saw that. Well, look, we've seen it with, like Frank Mason back in the day, Devontae Graham. Like, there have been guys who have battled through injuries and had tremendous games. There have also been guys who have come back too early and further injured themselves and set them back even farther, right? And I think the Kevin McCullough saga kind of, put that in perspective for Bill Self when he's like, look, when you have a guy who's this important to this team, you cannot have a setback that takes him out for Big 12 play, right? So you absolutely need Darren Peterson to be 100% healthy. You cannot risk it whatsoever. So I totally get it, right? Obviously, you want him out there. You want to see Darren Peterson play, because watching Darren Peterson play basketball is, it's one of my favorite things in the world. It's up there with puppies and rainbows and pots of gold. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing to see. So yeah, I mean, we'll know later. Like you said, we're pre-recording the show before the Bill Self press conference. I'm sure it'll come up. But looking at Mizzou, right? I still think Kansas matches up well with Mizzou. Right now, they're 37 in Ken Pom. Kansas is 19 in Ken Pom. Mizzou's 8-1, right? But when you look at their record, they haven't really played anybody, right? They beat Howard, Southeast Missouri State. They beat Virginia Military Institute. They did beat Minnesota 83-60. Minnesota, I believe they're not even breaking the top 100 in Ken Pom though. So that's really the only team in a Power 4, Power 5 that they've played up until Notre Dame on Tuesday, where they lost 76-71. Mark Mitchell did have 26 points in that game. Anthony Robinson had 7 rebounds in that game, which is really impressive for a guy like Anthony Robinson. So looking at this, right, it's an 8-1 team going up against a 6-3 team, right? But the talent disparity, I think, is enormous when you look at the two. They have very talented players. Like I said, Mark Mitchell right away. That's the head of the snake for Mizzou. He averages 18.1 points per game. Not a good three-point shooter, but that's not really what he does, right? He's 6'9". He likes to do a lot of his work kind of in that high post. He can stretch it if he wants to, but you see him down quite a bit. So this is going to be a big-time matchup for either the 3 or the 4, whether that be Bryson, whether that be Trey White. I think both those guys can limit that action whenever it comes to Mark Mitchell. They have a number of different guys who are contributors to this team, and the guard play is really, really good as well. You look at a guy like Jacob Cruz, averages 14.1 points per game. The guy is a shooter. He's an incredible shooter, 49% from the 3-point line, right? That's where you kind of have to limit them. You cannot let them go on scoring runs, because this team does score a lot. They're offensively minded. They can put up a ton of points. So that's the tricky thing of like, okay, well, Kansas, they're known for their defense. They're known for their 3-point defense as well, right? They've limited 3-pointers virtually with everybody that they've been able to play, right? But if you can stop Jacob Cruz from getting hot, like I said, almost a 50% 3-point shooter, that's going to be really important. Jaden Stone also is in there as well. Really good 3-point shooter, 41.7%. Anthony Robinson, he is going to more than likely be matched up against Melvin Council. I love that matchup. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch, because Anthony Robinson, he plays a lot like Melvin Council on the offensive side of the ball, where he likes to drive and get to the basket, but he can also shoot the ball better than Melvin Council, right? He's a 39% 3-point shooter, so that is something to kind of keep an eye out for. 42% from the field, 39% from the 3-point line. So Melvin Council is really going to have to play his butt off on defense and try to limit that. They also have Sean Phillips Jr. He's their center. He's played in 7 games. I think he's dealt with some injuries, but he's really he's the biggest guy on the squad. So that's going to be the matchup there with Flory. He's a transfer over from Arizona State. So Kansas has actually seen Sean Phillips in the past. They know how he likes to play. They did a good job of semi-limiting him down low. So we'll see how this goes out. But again, this is a very offensively minded Missouri team who can score a lot of points and can go on runs. And I think really where they exceed at is transition offense, right? They like to force a lot of turnovers, and they like to run fast. They like to get down the court. They like to score on fast breaks. They like to score in transition, however that may be. They like to get those turnovers and capitalize on those turnovers. So Kansas has to limit those.
It's so hard to tell when you look at their schedule. It is. Now, they're averaging 9 steals per game and over 90 points per game. But this is as bad a schedule as you're going to see at Power 5 conference team. I mean, and that's generally how Mizzou does. They do not schedule difficult. So we don't really know. They face Illinois. Cowards. They face Illinois yearly in the bragging rights showdown, if they still call it that, and they're going to do battle with the Illini on December 22nd. But yeah, you mentioned some of the teams: Howard, SEMO, VMI, Prairie View A&M, South Dakota, South Carolina State, Cleveland State. They did just take their first loss of the season when they battled Notre Dame. They lost 76-71. Of course, Kansas beat Notre Dame 71-61. After the KU game, Mizzou gets Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. So again, not a strong schedule. They did have that nice win over Minnesota, who, yes, isn't a top-tier team, but Minnesota did just beat Indiana for whatever that's worth, and Indiana is a quality team. If you look back at last year, remember it was disastrous for KU. KU was actually ranked number 1 in the country, as they've been often when they've battled Mizzou over the years. But the Hawks had previously lost a little bit earlier in the week, so they were going to lose that number 1 ranking either way. They ended up losing to Mizzou. That was the week where they lost to Creighton and then to Mizzou, and then the Mr. Brightside and the FKU chants and all that.
I remember.
Grown accustomed to all of that were around. But Hunter Dickinson had 19 and 14 in that game. Diggy Coit had 4 threes. But KU was down, I believe, as many as 23 in the second half. Actually came back before Mitchell banked in a 3 from the corner, if you remember that. A baseline banked in 3, not a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And he ended up with 17, did Mitchell. Tamar Bates no longer with Mizzou, and that's good because he shot 99% from the free throw line, it seemed like. He had 29 points, 9 of 9 from the free throw line in this one.
So 100%.
They got the 76-67 victory, did the Tigers. That was their first win in this 6-game renewed series. KU took the first one in Lawrence, the second one in Columbia, the third one in Lawrence, and then obviously Mizzou last year got it in Columbia, and now 2 more to go, of course, both in Kansas City beginning Sunday at noon. So Mitchell, the main guy, like you alluded to, averaging over 18 points per game. But I think that that's kind of always how it's been for Mizzou, is it's about the 3-point shot. And you mentioned Cruz and Stone. It starts with them, 49%, 42% from 3 respectively. Again, who knows how those are going to level out when Mizzou does battle with really, really quality SEC teams and not the likes of Alabama A&M or whoever they've been facing. But Kansas is going to have to continue focusing on the defensive end, particularly if KU doesn't have Darren Peterson. Then you're going to win this game by muddying it up, and we're going to keep saying that. And that's the Bill Self way. That's how it should be. But UConn shot better against Kansas from the perimeter, first of all, than we expected, because Alex Caravan didn't shoot that well. But UConn still only shot 27%, Dan. 9 games in, KU has yet to allow a team to shoot over 30% from 3. Very, very impressive. And Mizzou is a team, they've always kind of been, at least since I've been watching, live and die by the 3. That's how they're going to try to beat Kansas. And certainly with the quality shooters that they have on this year's team, that's not going to change. Robinson was kind of a pest as a point guard last year for Mizzou. You mentioned him, 10 points, 3 assists. He's averaging 2.5 steals per game, also a couple turnovers, but it's going to be important for Kansas to value the basketball as well. But you got to get some offense. That's where it starts for Kansas. Like, you're going to focus on defense, do what you need to do. You held UConn to 61, all that. And certainly you need Mizzou to score fewer points than they have all season. But where's the offense going to come from? Because you can't have a situation where you're getting 5 field goals and a half. I like this matchup a lot for Flory Bidunga. I think he's poised for a big game. Yes, Mitchell is a big guard, and yes, Sean Phillips is a capable big. Flory is the most talented of those guys.
100%.
So offensively in the half court, it starts with establishing Flory, and then who's going to step up and hit some shots? Is it going to be Cole Rosario? Is it going to be Jaden Dawson? And then you got to make sure that you're getting to the free throw line, as we've been doing, because there are going to be times if KU doesn't have Darren Peterson. Again, we're recording this before the Bill Self press conference today, where Kansas is going to have offensive lulls. If that's the case, you need to establish Flory, make sure that Flory is playing big, posting deep, and then getting to the free throw line from the guards, and certainly not having the disastrous start on the defensive rebounding side of things that we did in the second half against UConn. But from a personnel standpoint, certainly I like Kansas, but we got to go out and find a way to generate enough offense to keep up.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe the biggest part about this game is the fact that it allows Kansas to get another marquee win, right? If you look at the marquee victories, marquee matchups for Kansas right now, we're 1-3. Now, you could throw Syracuse in there because Syracuse has been on a little bit of a run, right? But I'm not going to consider that a marquee matchup for the sake of this. We're talking ranked opponents, right? Kansas lost to UNC. They lost to Duke. They lost to UConn. They did beat Tennessee, which was huge. That was a huge win. But still, Kansas needs another one of those marquee victories against a solid opponent, against a rival opponent, to be able to set themselves up for success whenever Big 12 play rolls around. That's exactly what this provides. It's on a national stage in a major city, against their hated rival. Kansas has to go out there and win this game. And I do have some keys to the game for Kansas to be able to get it done, right? On the offensive side of the ball, you have to limit those turnovers. Like you said, they average a lot of steals per game, nine steals per game, and they like to run. They like to score in transition. So Kansas has to be able to limit those. I'm looking particularly at Melvin Council Jr. and his ball handling and his facilitating to be able to feed it to the right guys and limit those turnovers. Kansas has to win that turnover battle. Kansas has to force turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. I guess that could be a key to the game on the defensive side of the ball. But most importantly, limit your own turnovers and make your shots, right? Kansas from the field hasn't been great from the field in terms of shooting percentage. You saw what they did in the second half against UConn. 5 field goals. The entire second half. You cannot do that. You have to be able to make your damn shots. So that's going to be the biggest point of emphasis on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, Melvin Council, like I said, he's going to be going up against Anthony Robinson. You cannot let him get hot, and you cannot let Cruz get hot. That's the two main things. Like you said, they like to shoot a lot of threes. That's kind of how they do. They live and die by the 3-point line. Kansas has an excellent 3-point defense. They haven't allowed, like you said, any team to shoot over 30% from the 3. You have to keep that going if you want to come out of this victorious.
You know what I like about this is just from a personnel standpoint. Again, they have Mitchell. Last year's team didn't really have somebody to match up with Mitchell. I mean, you had KJ Adams, but they had some other issues that they could cause with some other players. This year, you've got a guy like Cole Rosario you could throw at him. You've got a guy like Trey White that you could throw at him. And he's the guy for them offensively. They have those shooters that they're going to try to play off Mitchell. But Kansas, I think from an athleticism standpoint, from a length standpoint, they have more guys this year. This one's a little bit different when you go up against Mizzou. And that's the most important thing is you got to knock them off and get back in the win column in terms of the border war. And also with Mizzou and NC State being your next 2 games, yes, you have Towson and Davidson after that before Big 12 play starts. But I think if you're able to win these 2 games, despite the losses you mentioned, you feel pretty good, particularly with Peterson missing however long he's missed.
Yeah.
With an 8-3 record in the non-con. That's not easy. Odds makers probably say that's not going to happen. It could happen. If Kansas can beat Mizzou and NC State, then you have nice wins over Tennessee, Mizzou, and NC State, and your 3 losses are all to quality top 25 caliber programs. Now, if you're 7-4, you're not feeling as great. Does it really matter? No, because what matters is Big 12 play and the NCAA tournament, making sure you're whole in. But this one in particular matters. Bottom line, that's what it's all about, is beating those guys. And certainly after the sting of last year, KU's got to get them back. I hope they're fired up. I'm sure they're being educated about everything that's going on. Hey, before we get out of here, Dan, tell us about Crown Automotive over on South Iowa in Lawrence, and looking forward to an exciting weekend ahead.
Yeah, Crown Automotive, an excellent partner with us out over in my neck of the woods, as you like to say, out in South Lawrence on South Iowa Street. Crown Automotive is the best car dealership in town. They treat you right. They have a number of new cars that you can buy with Toyotas and Volkswagens, some of the most dependable cars that you can buy, and also they sell used cars as well. They have vehicles under $15,000, a ton of used cars at a great value. They will treat you right. Check them out, crownautomotive.com. Really appreciate that partnership that we have going on with them.
Let's make sure the Chiefs get a victory as well. Sunday Night Football. We'll be back on with you guys on Monday, but a big weekend ahead for KU Athletics. Again, Horse Family Volleyball Arena tonight, 4-seed Kansas, 5-seed Miami, for the right to go to the Sweet 16. And, of course, Border War Sunday at noon, 10:30, Crimson and Blue Show, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Give us a subscription as well, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. We put all of our shows out there, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you find your podcast. We have our podcast. It's daily. Also, Haney and the Hawks. We have an upcoming show with Sasha Khan. who's going to be coming up with Haney and the Hawks. Tyshawn Taylor does his podcast here. So be sure to check us out on YouTube, and please give us a subscription everywhere you get your podcasts, everywhere you listen. Go ahead and follow us on there. Follow us on social media as well, at the Kansas Nation on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and then Kansas Nation on Facebook.
Big thanks to Elijah Schmidt running the operations today and every day here, Rock Chalk Sports Kansas Nation. For Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman saying stay tuned all weekend long, and we'll catch you on Monday for Rock Chalk Sports, KansasNation.com.
I'm Kenny Logan Jr., and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Miles Schneer's Crown Automotive, founding partner of Kansas Nation. Visit them at crownautomotive.com. Experience the Crown difference. Carfax top-rated dealer, Crown Automotive.
Kansas City, it's the most wonderful time of the year, football season. Hy-Vee's ready to get you game day ready because no one does tailgating better than the experts at Hy-Vee. Make game day easy and please the crowd with a Kingdom Meat Bundle for just $30. The Kingdom Meat Bundle includes 4 burgers, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwursts, and 4 chicken breasts for just $30. Plus, score a 10-cent fuel saver with each Kingdom Bundle purchase. This game day, make your tailgate a victory with a little help from Hy-Vee, the official grocery sponsor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Better water now, pay later? What's not to love? Hey, it's Bob with Culligan Water. And for a limited time, we're offering no payments and no interest for 6 months on the water you and your family deserve. Our state-of-the-art residential equipment creates water that's purified, soft, and delicious. Contact us today for details and schedule your free consultation online at CulliganKansasCity.com. Culligan, it's water you love.
We Got Your Back Apparel, a local boutique where KC pride meets killer style. They've got it all: coasters, sports merch, candles, mugs, even custom screen printing and embroidery for your next event or brand drop. Whether you're gifting or repping your crew, check them out. We Got Your Back Apparel, located in downtown Overland Park, 7940 Santa Fe Drive, or WeGotYourBackApparel.com. They really do.
This is Dale Highshaw, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Listen up, guys. A new year is coming, and you deserve to feel your absolute best. Whether you're chasing peak performance, trying to reignite intimacy, or simply want to feel your best, Game Day Men's Health Lawrence is your calling. Situated in a plush man cave setting, their services for testosterone replacement therapy, erectile dysfunction, vitamin therapy, and weight loss are sure to give you the boost you need. Make an online appointment today by searching for Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game in 2025 with Game Day.
Crown Toyota and Crown Volkswagen, getting you where you need to go. Celebrating over 30 years and honored by Best of Lawrence. Visit crownautomotive.com and explore the latest models, check out specials, schedule expert maintenance, body shop, and repair services, all with ease. Experience the Crown difference. Miles Schneer's Crown Automotive, 3400 South Iowa, Lawrence, Kansas. Supporting Kansas athletics.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Family Leisure. Come to Family Leisure so we can make your holiday shopping easy. We are your one-stop shop for incredible deals on hot tubs, arcade games, theater seats, grills, massage chairs, and much more in stock and ready to go. Come in for your Chiefs fan to see our inventory of Chiefs clocks, banners, and area rugs. Decorate your game room with our dartboards, gaming chairs, pool, and shuffleboard tables. Mention A10 and save more at Family Leisure, K10 and Ridgeview in Olathe.
Awesome! Your home for the NFL. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Bursting in, touchdown Mahomes. Rushing touchdown. 1-yard run over the right tackle. Shotgun snap, 4-man rush. Line drive throw near side. Belt cut to the 5. Diving to the pylon. It is a touchdown by Worthy. What a throw, but what a turn and dive.
Your home of Westwood One, the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hey, this is Cole Ballard, and you're watching KansasNation.com.